don't know if I did this right, but I just broke that. The mole stuff is pretty thick. Is that mole or pork? Oh, that's pork. That's mole. It's kind of like chocolate bar. So I broke off a couple of big hunks of it, and probably 2 or 3 tablespoons. I think you're probably supposed to reconstitute it first, but we'll see what happens. Figure by the time the meat's all cooked in there for a few hours, it'll be all right. This is probably looking ready to flip over again. Yeah. There we go. These vent hoods are great. They work pretty good. Pretty well, rather. It should be on high, but it's too noisy. Oh, it is on high. And if you crack your window, you can almost get all the smoke out of your kitchen. Waffles. This is when it gets fun.
Honey, kitchen's on fire.
Again, that's the fat from the roasts catching on fire, but this is the meat looking good. I think maybe I'll just do one today.
I'll take it
I have to drive myself to the ER this time. You always wanted to be a movie star, didn't you? Alright, so now we're just, don't show me.
Don't show you.
We're going to put this in a blender. Hopefully.
Mom, why is that fire?
Why is the kitchen on fire, buddy? That's a good question.
Not a fire. It's just cooking the meat.
When you're blending hot stuff, obviously be careful and don't seal it with the lid tightly. Cover it with a rack. So the Chile Verde, or at least the tomatillo and garlic mixture. After we blended it up, I'm just going to use the same blender for these peppers. You can see that this pork roast is pretty much done. It's nicely blackened and charred on both sides, all sides. So I'm gonna take this off and throw the chilies on. Say that again.
What is this, pork flambe?
We always got a comment from the peanut gallery. So I'm gonna take that off and put the chilies on. Pasilla chilies and Anaheim chilies today. So, I have these chilies on here for a couple of minutes, I guess. And they're starting to get blackened that way. Turn yet. Turn that off here a little bit. That's what you want them to look like. You can also do this in the broiler. Basically, you just want to get the outer skin off, and you can sort of cook them a little bit. You want to just get that kind of papery outer skin off of them. Sorry. That guy's looking okay. These don't have very even heat, at least mine doesn't, so parts of the grill get really hot, some of them don't. This part right here apparently is really hot. So that's just ready to go in with the green stuff when I get it done. Today, these didn't get quite as soft as I thought. So I'm going to try to put them in the food processor first and then in the blender. So
2/3 plus 1.
try that. There's a lid. pretty well. So then this will go into the blender and blend it up with maybe some little bit of the soaking juice. I did not say yes. No, I didn't. Alright, so this is the, you want them to be pretty well blackened all the way around. And then when they're done, put them in a paper bag if you have it, or a plastic bag will work fine for about 10 or 15 minutes, and they sort of sweat, and it's easier to get the membranes off the outside. So that's what we're going to do next. Oh, I'm going to blend this up. This is the chilies, dried chilies that have been processed in the food processor. A little bit of the tomato sauce from the earlier with the onions and stuff in it, just for liquid, and a little bit of the soaking liquid. See if that blends up well, and then we'll put that in with the meat. You want it to be relatively smooth. You don't want to have any... That's my dishwasher, by the way. You don't want to have any pieces of the leathery skin of the chilies, so I'm going to put a little bit more of the soaking liquid in there. This is a lovely color. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very bright red. And I forgot to put the spices in. And I thought it might be good to blend them up. So this is chili powder, quite a bit. That probably looks good. Cumin, quite a bit of that. Oh, I don't know how much that is. Tablespoon or a couple. Mexican oregano. Go eat a little bit easier with that. It's kind of powerful stuff. Good pinch of salt. And some pepper. And I'm going to put some orange juice in here because I ran out of... I dumped my soaking liquid, of course. Will you put some orange juice in there, honey?
Is that enough?
Doing it a little bit more so it can get smooth. That's good, thanks. You can use any liquid you want, but I just had orange juice, so might as well throw that in there. We're going to blend that up and then put it in with the meat and the tomato stuff that we did earlier, and then put it in the oven on low, like 220 or 200 or something for about, I don't know, 6 hours or so. Alright, so I put the tomatillo stuff in a pot with some cumin and some oregano, Mexican oregano, salt and pepper. And I'm going to put in a bunch of washed cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, then leave it out. I happen to think it's the bee's knees. And then I'm going to chop up the chilies when they're done sweating and put them in also. Alright, so we've sweat the chilies. Now we're going to just peel off this papery membrane. You can see that it comes off relatively easily. You can kind of just rub it with your fingers. And, some people rinse them, but I recommend against it, as rinsing will take a lot of the flavor away. And you don't have to get every little bit off, but you want them about like that. And then hopefully the pasillas will be the same. See how it just kind of comes right off? You can slip your fingers underneath parts of it and kind of get it off of there. And then I'm going to leave the seeds in. I'm just going to pull the stems out and then chop the whole thing up, but obviously without the stem. But I'm going to leave the seed pods because I've done it without, and it's just really not hot enough to be interesting. So I'm going to continue.
Hot enough for me.
Ketchup is hot enough for you, dear. So I'm going to keep doing this for a while, and I'll check back with you later.